Good morning, everybody out there in Mathland. Today we are doing our chapter practice for chapter 13. That means that your test will be tomorrow, and today's homework will be the practice test online. So this is page 655. I will be going through the lessons I taught and skipping the two that I skipped for the fact that we don't have protractors to work with. So out of these 4 pages, I'll only be doing 3 of them. Here we go. So right here, we start by naming the figure and write how to say its name. This is just a period, or a point. So this is, we say, that's F. I was naming the point, so point F. Right here, this is line segment GH. So we say line segment GH. This is ray KJ. So we say ray KJ. Draw and label the figure. This symbol means it's a ray. L, M, and it's a ray. It needs to keep going in only one direction. This is a line, which means it goes in both directions. And, oh, line, no, that's funny. Over here, that's a line segment because it has no arrows. So it has periods on both sides, or points on both sides. P, Q. Okay. Over here, we are going to use the figure, which is this one right here, and we're going to name a line segment. Remember, a line segment has a beginning and an end. It does not have arrows on either side because it clearly stops and starts and finishes. So there's a ton here. Just look for 2 periods and name their, or 2 points and name their letters. There's so many, I'm just going to choose one. Right here, AC. So line segment AC. But there's tons. There could have been these 2, those 2, these 2, these 2, those 2, those 2, those 2. Like literally tons. Name 2 different rays. So a ray starts with an endpoint and keeps going in one direction. So this right here is a ray. That right there's a ray. This is a ray. That's a ray. This whole thing is a ray. Or this thing is a ray. Or that thing is a ray. There's so many. I'm going to pick this one, EH. So EH, ray EH, and ray ED. There's tons though, okay, because there's one endpoint going in one direction. Identify and draw angles. So right here, write a name for the angle and classify it. Well, this is angle QRS. Remember, this is the middle where the 2 rays connect, so that needs to go in the middle of naming it. And because this would have been a right angle right here, but it goes further back, this is obtuse angle, what we like to call the daddy angle, because he's big. Then angle TUV is a right angle. Draw and label. If it's a right angle, that means it needs to be like an L, form a square corner right here. And if it's TUV, that means T, U is the vertex, V. All right. You don't need a protractor to draw a right angle, by the way, because it's just an L. Okay. Second page. It says, identify parallel and perpendicular lines. Draw and label the lines with a given direction. They give you the boxes, that way it's easier to draw straight lines. It's a nice little resource for you to have. This symbol right here means parallel. Remember that? So when it's like this, it means parallel. So line MN is parallel to line OP. Many ways of drawing this, but I'm deciding it to do it this way. MN parallel to OP. Again, they can never cross each other because that's the point of parallel lines. You could have also drawn them that way or diagonal. The biggest important part to keep in mind is that they can never cross because they're parallel. That means that they're always the same distance away from each other. Over here it says line AB is perpendicular. So that symbol means perpendicular, means that it forms a 90-degree angle on all four sides. Two lines CD, A, B, and CD are intersect at point E. That means that where they're crossing, you have to label it as an E. So here is line A, B. Here's line C, D. And point E is where they intersect E, right there. Ta-da! Okay. So I'm only showing you one way to draw these. There was plenty of ways, but the biggest important thing is that they form 90-degree angles all around. It's a perfect cross when you do that. Find the measure of each angle. So understanding degrees, remember that a circle has 360 degrees all around. Okay, that's a good thing to remember. So if this angle is 115 out of 360, that means that that angle measure is 115. For this one, when they say it's 1/5, how many degrees? So you know it has to be out of 360. So 5 times what gives you 360? You're going to have to divide. 5 into 36, that's 7 times. 5 into 10, 2 times. So that means I did 5 times 72. You do the same thing up here, 32. So 1 times 72, that's a 72-degree angle. Over here is 1/4, okay? Now, for this one, 1/4, they could have also very easily drawn a box here. Because if you take a circle and you split it into fourths, each one of those fourths is going to be a 90-degree angle. So 90, 90, 90, and 90. So this one's 90 degrees, okay? A circle is divided into 12 equal parts. What is the measure of the angle that turns through 2 of those parts? So first, if it's 12 equal parts, I need to see how many degrees are in each of those parts. So I'm going to do 360 divided by 12, okay? 12 fits into 36 3 times exactly. And I drop the 0, 12 into 0, 0 times. So it's 30. So if it goes with 2 of those angles of 30, then it's 60 degrees. All right. Then it says right here, which one doesn't belong, which angle measure does not belong with the other in the circle? So 1/6 of a circle. So if you have 360, you divide it by 6. You'll get 60. So this circle is 60 degrees. 60 out of 360 is 60 degrees. This is 60 degrees. 1/8 of a circle is not the same as 1/6. So this one does not belong. 60, 60, 60. This is the one that does not belong. Okay. We finished one page. This is the page that I will not be doing because this is finding angle measures where I'm going to need a protractor to do it. So therefore, I'm not going to do that for you. We're going to skip that page. And I will make sure that the practice test does not include things that require you to measure angles. And I'm also going to make sure that the actual test tomorrow doesn't have them. Let me know if you find anything wrong with the homework that I assign. Next. So the last page that we're going to do is about lessons 13.7 and 13.8, which you do not need a protractor to solve. Write an equation to find the angle measure EFG. Okay, so all I have to do to find EFG is add those two angles. So I have to do 37 plus 48. What does that equal? I'm going to go to the side of my paper. 8 plus 7 is 15, carry 1. 1 and 4 is 5, 5 and 3 is 8, so equals 85 degrees. That's how much that angle measures, 85 degrees. Over here, we know that a circle is 360 degrees. It says you use a protractor to find the measure of each angle in a circle. Use the angle measures to write an equation. So since I have to use a protractor, I'm actually not going to teach you how to do that one because I don't want you to worry about that. Although I will tell you that this would have been 180 degrees because it is a straight angle. Okay, so we're going to do it at 13.8, okay? Here we go. Write and solve an equation to find the measure of the angle. This are the lessons that I taught yesterday about complementary angles. So complementary angles, they add up to 90 degrees supplementary angles add up to 180. Good thing to keep in mind. That's why there's a good sheet to have with you during the practice test. So angle ABD. So if I'm trying to find ABD, so this angle, this X, I don't know it, but I know that these two added makes 90. So it's like I say X plus 27 degrees equals 90. And more than likely for the practice test, they're going to find that these problems, if you don't write the equation exactly as they want the equation, they might mark it wrong. Do not worry, just like yesterday, I'll go in and I will make sure that I grade them manually so that if you have an equation that still makes sense, it's just not what the picky book wanted, I will still mark it correct. So please don't worry about that. Your teacher has you. So then X equals 90, take away 27, which leaves you with 63 degrees. So X is 63 degrees. Okay, over here, these two together have to equal 180. So X plus 42 degrees gives you 180. To find it, you do inverse operation, and you get that X is equal to 138 degrees once you subtract it. Over here, these three together have to equal 90 because they're complementary. So you do X plus 45 plus 22 has to equal 90. You combine the two that you know already. So X plus 67 equals 90. So then you do, I'm running out of room, I should have started higher than X equals 90 minus 67, which means that X equals 23 degrees. That's for this one. For the last one, these three together have to equal 180. So X plus 25 plus 52 gives you 180. So then X plus, add the two you know, so that's 77 equals 180. So then X equals 180 minus 77, which means X equals 103. Okay, so do the best you can with the homework. Again, if there's somewhere you have to write an equation and mark some wrong, I'll fix those for you manually. Have these pages with you once you're doing the practice test to help you. And let me know if you have any questions, okay? Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.